Today's a special day for me. It is it's the 8th anniversary of getting a mullet. It's today. I did it at spring break of 2014. I got out of South Padre Island hammered. You said, ooh, you been to South Padre, brother?
Corpus, baby.
Hell yeah, you got a wild accent, dude. Where are you from?
Corpus.
Okay. The reason you guys, if you don't know, that's funny. There's chemical plants in Corpus. That's cool, dude. I love the valley. I love South Texas. But this hair, it's fun. The most commonly asked question I get about this hair is people will say, "I bet you get a lot of women with that hair." And I tell them this every single time. I say, the odds are good, but the goods are odd. Yeah. The women that like this haircut are difficult people. Brother, I've been going through it. No, the biggest thing is like they get upset with me for how I act, right? Because I think a lot of Austin women they're not used to dating my kind of mullet, you know? Like Austin has like artsy mullets, like they paint and shit. Or frat boy mullets, you know, they walk around. That kind of pissed me off when I moved to Austin. Like, there's a lot of frat mullets going around. And it gives a false presentation for what's going on here, you know, with the mullets. Because I like to walk downtown every once in a while with a buzz cutter, right? And I just walk down. Every time I see a mullet, I'm like, what's Dale Earnhardt's number? If you can't catch a raccoon in 15 minutes, I'm taking that hair. What the hell is going on? Because then when women date me and I pull my gun out in traffic, they get upset. It's like, you're going to have to get over that.
You ever seen an Aussie mullet?
Brother, you do sound like you just swam in that chemical plant. You're like the Homer Simpson. Like a Homer Simpson of Corpus Christi, Texas. He's got the beads on and shit. I love it, dude. Where was I at? Oh, women and these guns. I took a woman home, and we got back to my place, and she didn't grow up around guns, so it surprised her when she walked into the house, and there's guns in every room, you know, in my house. They're hidden, mostly. But every once in a while you run into one, you know, and she ran into one when she went to bed. She put her head under my pillow, and then she realized there was a gun there. And she was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, put that down, that's loaded, you know? Oh, fuck, dude, you just pointed a loaded gun at me right there. And she was like, you keep a loaded gun under your pillow? And I said, yeah. I mean, if an intruder comes in, I don't want to have to go to the closet and find a gun and load it, you know? I want to make sure that I can grab that gun and go to work. And she said, she brought up something I had never thought about before. She was like, what do you do if you get sad? Fuck. I leave it alone, you know. Say that much. and that made me think about it. What would happen if an intruder did come in and I needed to use my gun, but I was having kind of a bad week? You know? What if a couple weeks ago when Toby Keith passed away, you know, and I didn't do good on a comedy show, and I went home and went to bed and somebody kicked my door in. Do I grab that gun and go to work, or do I get halfway down the stairs and I go, ooh, that feels good? Be a wild way to greet that intruder too, you know? Go downstairs, you better put my shit down. I'll haunt your dreams forever. Turn this robbery into a homicide. That's fun. I got into some legal trouble, and brother man, you've been there? You never gotten a lawyer. I don't know who you're looking around. Mischievous bastard. Lay off, dude. Anybody with a watch like that and boots like that, dog, you've been into something. No, I got in a little trouble. I'd never gotten a lawyer before, so I had to go get one. I looked it up on the internet, and I was nervous because he looked like an educated man. And when I have to deal with educated people, I get nervous, you know. I went to Florence, Texas high school, and Florence, Texas is a town full of 100 people, right? And it stayed that way forever because every time a baby's born, a man leaves. So that's what I'm working with. And so I see the educated man on the thing. So I give him a call, and I he looks like a good guy. And we talk about it, and I give him what's going on. And he says, we'll be able to get you out. We'll be able to get you off. He said, but just to let you know, for a little bit of background info, I do have a $5,000 retainer. And I was like, good for you. I don't know how that helps me, but and he said, well, going forward, it's like I said, it's going to be $5,000, and you can make installments of $500 a month. I was like, who do I pay? The dentist? That one was dumb. I felt that one. That one was dumb. I've been having a lot of fun. I've been on the road doing comedy. I love comedy. It's like I have to have a bunch of different jobs. You know, like this pays a little bit of the money, but I got to do other jobs too. And so, like, I do ice delivery. I'm the ice man here in Austin. I deliver to the bars. That's fun. And then during the summers, I think I have my favorite job, which is party boat captain. Brother. After a show one time, a guy came up to me and he was like, "You would make a great party boat captain." And I said, "I agree." I was like, "But I don't think I have the kind of time to get like my boating license or the licenses required." And he said, "You don't need a license." I was like, "I'm in." And I thought it would be a problem, but it's not. Like I know how to drive a boat, so that's really the essentials of what you need, and to get people to have a good time, and that's the part that I love. You know, it's a part of the job that I enjoy. The guys, what I love about it is that when you get a party boat, they give you a text message, and they'll be like, "Hey, we linked in the driver, the party boat captain, in this message, and whenever you get there, just text him, and he'll give you instructions." And most of the instructions that I give are, hey, I'll meet you at the dock. I give them the location, and then that's it. And when they text me back, they go, "How are we going to know it's you?" And then I send, you'll know. But just in case, I send that picture of, anybody seen that gif of Danny McBride? Where he's riding on the jet ski? That's the one I do. Anyway, I was doing that job, no problems at all, until about 6 months in, and it was the end of summer, and the lake was drying up, and so there's not a whole lot of like docks that you could pick people up at, right? So I picked one, and I went over there, but it was taking too long to pick the people up, and so I said, "Hey, for an extra $100, I'll give you the VIP pickup," and the VIP pickup is something I made up. But it's where I pick them up at the beach that's next to the dock, right? And the problem with the beach is sometimes there's people swimming, but I have a boat. So I'm just like, get the fuck out of the way. If I need to throw a couple beers over the side to get people to swim, I do it. And so I get all the way through and I land on the beach, right? I land on the beach and my people are getting on the boat, and I look up at the top of the hill, and there's 2 Travis County PD officers that are coming for the mullet man. I don't know. I just I can't imagine it's a good situation if they find me. So I turn around and I assess the situation, and I said I could just run down the beach, and then I looked around and I was like, I don't see a cop boat. Push my way off. And I got in the middle of the water, right? And I was thinking about it, but I could have got away with it. But then I turned around and I made eye contact with him. And I was like, fuck, I'm recognizable. It's like, I got to throw him off my trail. What do I say? And they were like, stop. And I said, no. No se puedo. They're going to think I'm an uncle in a banda band, dude. They're going to find me, dude. No, but I do love comedy. I get to travel doing it, and so you just get to go to different towns. Your job is 30 minutes a day, so it's like, it's not terrible. But you get to do stuff in different towns. Like the rest of the day is just, you get to do what you want. And I was in New Orleans, Louisiana, and we got drunk the first 3 days. And the 4th day, we're doing comedy every single night. And so on the fourth day, it was getting hard to get people to shut up and pay attention because there was titties outside. And so people love titties. And if there's y'all are fine sitting down having a good time, but if there was titties out here, 3/4 of you would be thinking about titties. I was trying to find something to do in New Orleans other than look at titties because they were blinding me. And so I asked the crowd, I was like, does anybody here know how to catch an alligator? And out of the darkness, I heard a dude go, whoo! I know how to put a hand on a gator. I was like, I think that's my guy. I put my hands on a lot of animals, squirrels, possums, big women, a lot of animals. I have, man, but I've never put hands on an alligator, so I got excited. I was like, all right, dog, what's your name? What are your qualifications? And he said, well, my name's Booger. And that's my gator hunting partner, Lefty. I said, that's all I need to know. That's it, dude. After the show, I grabbed my comedian buddy of mine that was with me, and I was like, dog, we're going on an adventure. And he was like, all right, what are we going to do? And I said, I'm going to let the sweet, southern, sultry voice of Booger do the talking. And he's going to sell us on the deal. And I wasn't disappointed. We got out to the bar. He was still sitting at the bar drinking. And I said, hey, Booger. And y'all don't know what he looks like, but we all know what he looks like. We were not disappointed, dude. We walked up, and I was like, hey, Booger, it's Dean. I don't know if you recognize me. I was a guy from the show. And he goes, I could see it in your eyes, baby. Cool. I was like, this is my buddy. This is the guy we're going gator hunting with. So walk us through the process of what we're going to do. And he said, well, we already got the gator you're going to catch, okay? We got him at the house. Behind the house, we got a little bayou. And that's the gator you're going to get. Now, we got him from the golf course, because what we do is we go down to the golf course about every 2-3 weeks, okay? And when we're down there, we get the problem gators out of the golf course for them, okay? Now, the problem gator is any gator under 6 foot long, you see, because the 6 foot gator ain't no problem. You can just shoot that in the head. You can make boots. But you can't make boots out of no 3-foot gator, okay? So now that 3-foot gator, we're going to take him back to the house. We're going to tie him up. We're going to feed him some chicken strips and let him grow, okay? And until then, he's just a wrestling gator. And he ain't bigger than no middle schooler, you see. And you could wrestle a middle schooler. And I said, I agree. I'll fuck up a middle schooler. But I turned to my buddy. I was like, what do you think about this whole thing? And my buddy was like, I don't know what the fuck he just said. But I got a question. We've been drinking all night. So you think it's a good idea to go gator hunting for the first time when you're hammered? Dog, Lefty took this one. Lefty was like, you're going to want to be a little drunk when you handle it. Sold. Let's go. So we get a couple more drinks. We head off to with them. We get in the truck with them, right? And I didn't think about this, but my buddy had the good sense and decorum to take a picture of the license plate before we got in there. And we sent it to a buddy of ours with little context. We just said, gator hunting with these guys, bye. And we shut off our phones, and we had a good time. We're getting out there, and I get a little nervous on the way out there because I'm like, what am I doing? I'm getting hammered on tequila. I'm going into the woods with these guys. But then I thought about it. I was like, I've watched a lot of game tape from catching gators. I've watched Steve Irwin, the GOAT. I've been preparing for this my whole life, dude. I know exactly what to do. I'm going to find him on land, okay? I'm going to walk up behind. I'm going to say some Aussie shit. And then I'm going to jump on his back. And when he's on land, he's not as powerful, right? So you can kind of flatten him out. And if you grab the jaw, that's the key. You grab the jaw, and they don't have the power to open, right? They just have the power to close. And so if you just hold that down, you can like wrestle around with that gator. This is going to be fun. Well, we got to their house, and we got behind their house, and we got on a boat, and we started taking off down the bayou. And then I was looking around, and I realized there's not a whole lot of what I would call land. And so I look at Booger, and I'm like, hey, dog, how are we going to catch these things? And he said, I'm glad you asked. What you're going to do is we're going to find a sleeping gator for you out there, all right? Now, what you do is how you find a sleeping gator is you take a flashlight, and we're going to shine it out in the water, and if we see a pair of eyes that's not blinking, that means he asleep. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay on the front of the boat there, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the motor off, okay, so we don't wake him up. And we're gonna take a pole and we're gonna ease on up next to that gator, okay? And when you're parallel with that gator, what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll off on top of that gator. And he said, and when you do, your adrenaline is gonna kick in, baby. And you're gonna know what to do, okay? You're gonna land on top of him, okay? And here the key, if you put your head on his head, he can't bite you. And you're just gonna go rolling with him, baby, okay? Just go rolling with him. And whenever you're done, you're just gonna let go, and that gator, he gonna fuck off. And I was like, solid plan. Solid plan. But I'm more of a visual learner myself. So I'm just gonna need to see you do that shit. Yeah, you do that, and I'll do it. And without blinking, dog, he's like, Lefty, get on the front of the boat. And Lefty fucking, dude, straight up, gets on the front of the boat. They find another gator. They cut the motor off. They pull on up next to it. They said, go. And Lefty was like, you're going to want to lay on your back. You don't want to look at that gator. Because if you look at the gator, you're going to pussy out. But everything like he said go, he rolled off on top of the gator, he grabbed him, he went rolling with him 5, 6, 7, 8 times, he let go, the gator fucks off. And I'm watching that whole situation like, fuck. Dog, he made it look easy. And I got this haircut, I can't back out now. And so I go all the way up, they find the gator, I see the gator, and they cut the motor off, right? And when he cuts the motor off, I lay on my back like this, right on the edge of that boat. And I was gassing myself up. I was telling myself my favorite Kennedy speech. If y'all don't know it, it goes, we go to the moon, not because it is easy, but because it is hard. I don't know if anybody's using Viagra in here, but you can just fucking quit taking the pills. Listen to this 18-minute speech, all right? I get you hard as a rock, dude. Anyway, it's my favorite speech, so I'm quoting it in my head. But I get nervous because, like I said, I heard that motor cut off, and I heard Booger go, whoo. Get ready, baby. And I hear the word go, and when I hear the word go, I roll off on top of this gator, all right? When I do, I put my arms underneath him, I put my head on his head so he can't bite you. And I go rolling with him 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and then I realize I don't want to be here anymore. I've had my fun. I'm doing most of the rolling, you know? I'm fucking this thing up, right? And so I'm like, all right, I'm sure he doesn't want to be here either. And so I let go. But when I let go, the gator doesn't fuck off. I let go, and we're in the swamp together. We're like this. It's me, the gator, air. And I see him up there through the moonlight, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, my adrenaline fucking kicked in. It kicked in, and I thought about it. I was like, he ain't bigger than no middle schooler. I fucking picked it back up like this, and I turn around, I see the boat, and the only thing I can think to do is just fucking chunk him in the boat. And when I chunked him in the boat, my buddy jumped the fuck out of the boat. And I was like, problem solved. Problem solved. But I looked at Booger, and I see them, and they're laughing their asses off at what was going on, which I thought was fine. But it's like, you got a gator in your boat, you know? Kick it, shoot it, do something. But when my adrenaline started to wear down, I took a closer look. It was a fucking log. These motherfuckers, my ego was hurt. I thought it was Davy Crockett for like fucking 35 seconds, dude. It was amazing. And I looked at Booger and I was like, hey man, what was that, like practice or something? And Booger was like, we ain't letting you touch no gator, baby. All right, that was my set. Thank you so much.